Welcome to JSA TV, where we're covering the latest news, innovations, and trends within the digital infrastructure industry. I'm Dean Perrine, and we are coming to you live. That's right, Jonathan. We are live at PTC 2026 in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. And this good-looking guy to my right is Jon Jensen. Jon is the co-founder of DCPC. Jon, welcome to JSA TV.
Thank you. Excellent.
Yeah, no, excellent. And Jon and I have already had a really engaging conversation, and I want you to know a little bit more about DCPC. So, Jon, for our viewers that don't already know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, DCPC is a power first development company. We designed this because we have a deep history and acumen and skill set in island power plants across the world. We knew the data center industry was going to have a tough time getting power. We said, why don't we apply the same acumen we have there into this industry? We started permitting and getting projects designed across Utah, which is where our projects are currently located, about 2 years ago. So we're a bit ahead of most people, but we know there's a lot of people going the same direction.
That's absolutely right, and very intuitive of you, because you're right. I have had probably a dozen conversations already today, and I would venture to say that of the dozen, 10 of them were about power and needing it and not being able to get it, and that is a solution that you are providing to the industry. Is this your first PTC?
This is my first one.
Welcome to PTC, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's great. So let's talk a little bit more about kind of those innovative alternatives to more traditional power that you are all providing. What are some of those alternatives that you're providing, and what are the benefits of those alternatives?
Absolutely. So we come to the market with two solutions. One is a natural gas reciprocating engine. It's a straightforward design. It's quick. It's clean. We have delivery within Q4 of 2027, about 250 megawatts. That will be our first one. We have all the way to the other side of the spectrum, very green, very reliable baseload, ocean-driven technology. Those two we basically used as our beginning point to say, hey, look, let's get something to the market now, knowing long-term that these gas-driven power plants may not be a long-term solution. We admit there's a lot of nuclear people out there. There's a lot of other good sources out there. We just wanted to go to an energy source that we believed was the least impacted and potentially the least difficult to permit. We'll see.
Yeah.
Some of those are yet to be known.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, so as part of the conversation that we were having earlier, I felt like maybe not quite a decade ago, everybody jumped to nuclear. You were either a renewable, and we're going to try to figure out how the renewables were going to work, or you were nuclear, and then we all said, we're a little ahead of our skis, so to speak. What are some of the other steps that we can take? What are some of the other alternatives that we might be able to use so that as these builds begin to come online, we are being more conscientious, and natural gas is a big part of that. And I suspect that that's probably some of the things that you're seeing as well.
We saw multiple layers of value that hopefully the communities would embrace. Both the professional industry as well as our local communities. So when we look through the power plant paradigm, we think first, how do we make it super efficient? How do we make it super clean, reliable, maintenance, all those things that people worry about. But we also care about what can we do outside of our power plant. We use a lot of district heat in our thinking and our planning. District heat, not maybe everybody knows what that is. It's our ability, we produce a lot of heat, to share that heat, potentially transport that heat to someone in a fairly close proximity, maybe a mile or so. And we can bring in industries that need heat. We've already spent our capital to generate that heat. And it's a lot cheaper for us to move our heat to them where they don't now have to use a lot of heat. So if you're a big energy consumer, we have the ability to share our heat with them, and their OPEX now goes down, which maybe they're motivated to come into this community, and maybe we'll bring more jobs. And right now our big focus is how do we bring as much value to the community? That was it from the very beginning. It's a continuation today. We see a lot of it seems like the environment that we're working in seems like the news is kind of driving that right now as well.
Yes, it absolutely 100% is. So many questions based just simply on that answer. But let's start let's start with the community,
Okay.
simply because that's where you ended. It is no secret that these data center builds are increasingly getting closer to that residential edge, and that there are concerns by those communities about what that data center ultimately is going to do and the resources that it will take, and from noise to electricity to the
Yeah.
visual
Yeah.
pollution and things like that. But it sounds to me like what you're saying, and I want to make sure that we're clear. These are things that the cleaner energy, the heat reclamation. These are things that you are all doing right now.
That's right. So what's really interesting about this is when we started this, we came from the energy first paradigm,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
I would say we have a lot of acumen, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge on how to think through that lens first, and we just designed everything from that point to where we are now, which we have coupled a data center with our power plant. What we get to do out of that is we capture our heat,
Mm-hmm.
we use that extra heat to generate more electricity with zero emissions,
Mm-hmm.
so we can produce more megawatts to the data hall without potentially consuming some fuel like natural gas.
Uh-huh.
We have the ability to be quiet. We have the ability to use zero water. A lot of our initial designs were zero water. We've added maybe 1% of water because there's a little bit of consumption in there.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Microsoft and a few other groups out there are going to a zero water
Uh-huh.
paradigm. So we came into this industry well before this news was hitting the
Yeah.
airwaves to be don't make a lot of noise, don't make any pollution, don't cause your neighbors stress, bring value to the community, make sure that you bring some revenue to them instead of abate it all, right? And so while that worked for a lot of people, we just started there. We
Mm-hmm.
want to believe that that gives our project a lot more viability and vitality. And already our communities are thanking us for being low water users, for bringing them revenue, bring jobs.
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty good experience.
I suspect that it has, and PTC is a great place for you because looking around, I would venture to say that 70% of the people that I have seen can benefit from a solution that you provide.
We hope so.
Yeah, and if I'm in the community, and the message is it's cleaner, it's quiet. There might be some heat reclamation. There's legitimate, verifiable job growth. There's all of these things. That's a plug and play community
Yeah,
message that you guys come out of the box with.
that's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jonathan, thank you so much for being
Excellent.
on JSA TV. We really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you.
You bet, you bet. And thank you, viewers, for watching JSA TV. We will see you very soon.